Hey kids, have you ever heard of the lottery? It's this thing where you buy tickets, and if you get the right ticket, you win a lot of money.
It sounds easy to win, but you have to be super crazy lucky to win it. In fact, you're more likely to get hit by a meteor or struck by lightning.
Well, today, we're talking about a guy named Abraham. Abraham is luckier than anyone who ever won the lottery.
So let's jump into the story. God told Abraham to go to the promised land, far away from anywhere he'd ever been.
Have you ever moved? It's really hard to pack up your whole life and go to a place you've never been before.
It was very uncommon to move back in Abraham's day.
But God told him to pack up all of his things and move to the promised land.
Abraham did not know where that was, but he knew it was far away.
But that's not the only thing that God told him. God told Abraham that he would have a huge family, even though he was childless.
When God said this to Abraham, he and his wife were pretty old. They didn't think they'd ever have children.
So Abraham had a hard time believing God, but he trusted him anyway.
If God wanted him to have a lot of kids, then he would believe that it would happen.
God told Abraham that the whole world would be lucky through him, even though he was just one random guy. God didn't choose Abraham because he was a special guy. In fact, there's nothing special about him at all.
But even though he wasn't special, God still wanted to use him to do big things.
He wanted to use Abraham to bless the whole world, and he did just that.
And Abraham ended up being one of the most famous people ever. Abraham had a lot of faith, even though he could hardly believe what God was promising.
God promised a lot of really big things to Abraham.
He promised him land, a huge family, and blessings for the whole world.
Do you think you would have a hard time believing God if you were in Abraham's shoes?
Well, Abraham did, but he still chose to have faith in God. Memory verse. It was by faith that Abraham obeyed when God called him to leave home and go to another land. He went without knowing where he was going.
And the best part is, everything that God promised came true.
Kids, sometimes it will be hard to trust that God will make things work.
But if we keep following him, he'll give us what we need. And that makes us luckier than anyone who has ever won the lottery.
Hey kids and parents, if you want to learn more about faith
or Abraham, check out the links below.